Hey everybody, how the heck are you? How are you doing? What's going on? What's new and exciting? A lot, right? For me, I'm homeschooling 3 children right now. Three. So if you're anything like me and you've taken on kind of like a doomsday attitude about the world, then you're probably taking up some hobbies right now, like stockpiling and preparing. But also, maybe you're planting a garden like me. That's right, I've taken up gardening and it's real fun. The thing about gardening that they don't tell you is that some plants hate each other. Some plants just don't like to be neighbors, like bell peppers and potatoes. Which is why for the All By Myshelf today, because of my recent discovery, I've taken a liking to this little game, Mr. Cabbagehead's Garden. That's right. Now, the plants in this game all like each other just fine for the most part, but the neighbors don't, those pesky neighbors. And everyone tells me that this is like a super quirky game. But, I mostly like quirky people, so we'll see if their opinion holds up, and we'll see what we think about this after I go through real quick how to play.
Hey everybody, recording has started. We're on Tabletopia. Is this rad? This is Mr. Cabbagehead's garden. It's so lovely. It's all laid out. You didn't even have to set it up. But if you wanted to set it up, let's go over what all this stuff is. We've got our draw deck, and it's separated into 3 stacks. And at the bottom of each stack of 15 is a holiday card. That is when Mr. Cabbagehead's not tending to his garden. And that means one of these neighbors are going to come around and do something nasty to him. This is these like invisible spaces here, the left, the middle, and the right. They're important because they are going to influence the way you pick your cards. This, I just got to show you, this is Eudora. And I just found out that Eudora and Mr. Cabbagehead are romantically inclined, we'll say. That as much as vegetables can be romantically inclined. Isn't that lovely? You start off with 3 bee tokens or beeples if you have them, and these are your tokens that are going to go on the neighbors. Okay, this grid situation here is out of control. You only need a 6x3 space. That's where we're going to be planting our garden. So maybe this is a community plot, and we have the lower left hand here. So to play the game, you are going to put 3 cards out. Now, the cards you put on the left, any card that is put on the left, you're going to have to pay one of your beeples to take and place in your garden, right? Doesn't matter what the vegetable is, that spot costs you money. This spot in the middle, you can just take that card and you don't have to pay anything. And this one on the right, you would get a bee for taking that one there. So that might influence your choices a little bit. It's important to note before you place your cards that they score only if they are next to another vegetable of its kind. They have to be adjacent. Doesn't matter if it's, up, down, side, side. And there are other scoring things here also. Before you start playing, look, there's awards of merit. So you would look at this and say, oh man, if I get 4 of the same vegetables in the corners, I would get plus 12 points. And the craziest one is this mixed plot over here, where each row has to have 3 different types of vegetables, and each column has to be completely different. Oh my gosh, that's insane. So there's different things you can do to your garden to get more points, challenge yourself. For now, we're just going to play until we get to a holiday card. Before we begin, this is the anatomy of the card. See this blue ribbon here? Those are weak 3 points if you plant it next to another lettuce. This red card here is how many of these cards are in the deck. So you could do some planning. And this black fence and this number here will matter when we get to the neighbor cards. I'll let you see those in action because that's easier. So I am going to take the radish because it has the most. I'm going to put it there actually. Yeah, radish. Always good to start in the middle, I think. I don't know if that's true or not. So, oh wait, no, before we put them away, the card with the larger number in black, like this one has the biggest, it's 86. That is what you're going to use to look at the white number. So since this card is higher, I am going to get 1 token out of that bag and place it down because that says 1. See? Those numbers are kind of used together. And then I discard them. That's that. That's the first thing I did. Oh, wait, and I got that one on the right, so I get a beeple, because this card was here. That's the right spot. So, there we go. Now, we're gonna do it again. Okay, here's my choices. I don't know what I want. I think I want the beans. Why not? Let's get ourselves some beans here. Yeah, there's 5 of those. Why not? Okay. I'm going to go for that corner situation. Maybe I could get a corner. That number says 48. That number says 6. They both mean that I have to take 2 of these, though. 2 tokens. Okay. Go away, cards. So I'm going to continue like that for a while. We might just skip ahead so that you can see what happens when we get to that holiday card. So here's the holiday card. We're on holiday. Mr. Cabbagehead has deserted us. And because of that, we have to look at which neighbor has the most tokens. This is the neighbor that has the most tokens. It is Lord Carrot Body of the, I don't even know what that says. Dowdy Chesterfield Carrot Bodies? Wow, he is fancy. So let's flip that over and read. Okay. He does not like it when other vegetables are planted next to carrots. He will take the vegetable with the highest number card orthogonally adjacent to a carrot. If there's no carrots in the garden, though, or no carrots are adjacent to another vegetable, he'll just take the vegetable with the highest neighbor number. So whichever is planted next to one with the highest neighbor number. I think this is the highest neighbor number, and there's nothing next to it. So I guess I'm home free for that, or if I wasn't, gosh, maybe I have to take that one. Oh, I don't know how that works, but you get the gist. And all of these neighbors do something different, and the expansion has different neighbors. My favorite was the flare on this card, because Horace Savoy Brassica is jealous of Mr. Cabbagehead and his award-winning garden, not to mention annoyed at Mr. Cabbagehead's romancing of Horace's half-sister Eudora, the president of the garden club. Romance is blooming. Okay, so that is how you play Mr. Cabbagehead's garden. Once you have reached the bottom of the stack and gotten to your final holiday card, you're going to go to Eudora and say, yo, babe, how did I do? And she's going to let you know how nice your garden is. And of course, you're going to add in those things we talked about if you get extra bonus points. And that's the gist of how you play Mr. Cabbagehead's garden.
So like I said, everyone's telling me that this game is quirky. But honestly, I don't really see how quirky it is aside from the artwork. Like, I love the artwork on it. The artwork is great. I mean, it's a little bit creepy because they're kind of like cannibals, right? They're kind of like, they're vegetables and they're planting vegetables, I assume, to eat. But maybe they're making their own babies. Okay, we're getting too deep with that. But I do really like the art in this. I think it's refreshing. I like art this different. And like, this just reminds me of all the weird birthday cards that my brother gave me when I was a kid, you know? I don't know. So I like it. I like it. If you don't, I don't think that would be a deal breaker. But aside from the art being definitely quirky, I don't really see how the game is, per se. As like a person that has actually been trying to plot my own garden recently, I mean, I definitely felt like the theme was tied in well. There's all of the same frustrations that I have with square footage going on. And the beginning of it is so light, you know? When you first start off, you have all those empty plots, and you can just go, you know? You could just like lay those cards and feel good about your chances. And then the choices get interesting and fun, and you know what? You know what the best thing about a good solo game? A good solo game makes me feel really good about myself in the beginning, and then I just barely miss my goal at the end. And it happens all in a short enough time span that I can try like 2 or 3 more times. And that is exactly what this game experience is for me. Easy breezy at the beginning, a little tight at the end, what am I gonna do? And then, dude, it's like done in 15 minutes. That's like, yes. Another thing I really love about this game is just how dang tidy it is. You know, it feels like my grandmother's garden shed. It's all just so. You know what I mean? Like, the cards, you put them out in stacks of 3, and then magically, after a few rounds, there's that time to reveal the neighbor card. And it's just laid out so perfectly. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that about it. It just feels like someone made me a batch of cookies, I guess. That's what this game feels like. So with that, yes, I think Mr. Cabbagehead's Garden is a lovely little game. Definitely lovely. Definitely a good game to play in current times, we'll say. So I hope you all are staying safe. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.